Game 3, Minnesota Wild at the St. Louis Blues. 6:30 Eastern time will be the drop of the puck. The series is tied up at 1 heading back to St. Louis. And, everybody expected a split in this series. There was no series that was closer with two teams that were more closely matched than in this one. So a split is not so crazy. I think it's the way in which the split came about that people are kind of head scratching a little bit. Neither game was competitive. That was a little bit unexpected. Let's take a look at the number in tonight's game. St. Louis minus $1.30. That's basically home ice advantage. 6.5 under, minus 20. Public likes the Blues a little bit. That's been bet up from minus 15 to minus $1.30. That's a recent development. So somebody somewhere is coming in heavy on St. Louis. Total holding steady from its send-out number. Marc-Andre Fleury gets the start tonight in Game 3, his third straight. He'll, of course, face Husso in that. And listen, I think this is a fantastic matchup. I think Marc-Andre Fleury, it is clear that Dean Evanson has said Marc-Andre Fleury is going to be our goaltender. We know that Cam Talbot played extremely well at the end of the regular season. That's exactly where we want him to be. But Marc-Andre Fleury, who has the pedigree of winning Stanley Cups, of doing well in an international competition and winning gold medals in international competition and silver medal, I think, too. This is a guy whose pedigree you can't ignore, and that's why Dean Evanson is going with Marc-Andre Fleury again tonight, despite Cam Talbot's numbers. I think the Blues know in order to win this series, they need to play well on their own end, which they did not do in Game 2. Game 1, they played that to perfection. They got out with a 4-0 win, which I think really surprised. It shouldn't have surprised Minnesota because the Blues have had plenty of success against the Wild this year. But I just thought, nobody thought this was going to be a 4-0 game, nor did anybody think that Minnesota was going to come back and easily win Game 2. They allowed 6 goals in Game 2. So I think what happens here, it's just like in a boxing match. You have two teams that just got through smacking each other. Each got a real good shot in. And now I think you're going to see both teams hit the reset button. And when you hit a reset button in sports, it means defense first. And that's what I think the focus is going to be like tonight. I think there's going to be a heavy forecheck by both teams. I don't think there's going to be a lot of room on the ice at all. I think offense is going to come from mistakes and not off a transition. So we know this. If St. Louis is to win this series, their blue line needs to hold up better against the Wild than it did in Game 2, and the Wild need to just simply build off of their defensive effort in Game 2. So I think we're headed in that defensive zone where I think tonight's going to be a hard-fought, low-scoring game. When teams hit the reset, guys, I'm telling you, it means defense first. If it doesn't happen, the team that doesn't play well defensively, I think you're going to tell a lot about who's going to win this series off of how each team plays tonight. If this is a low-scoring 2-1 game, 3-2 game, then this is going to be a 7-game series. But if this is a wide-open affair, say a 5-1, 5-2 game, which is different than what I think it's going to be, I think the team that wins that type of game will go on to win the series tonight. Let's go to tonight's official selection. When the Wild find their defensive game, this is a team where it sticks with them for a while. Unders have cashed 10 of the last 14 times after the Wild have allowed two goals or less in their previous game, which is the situation here. When Minnesota finds it, they hang on to it for a long time. It's not an up and down effort. We're going to go with the under 6.5 minus 20 in this one.